What's up, y'all? It is Jay Ray, co-host of Q Points, the podcast dropping the needle on Black music history. And I am so excited, thrilled, honored that on June 7th, an event is going to be happening in Wilmington, Delaware, hosted by the amazing Darnell Miller. And it's called Pride at the Loft, and it's part of his Live at the Loft series. And right here on Q Points, right now, Darnell Miller is here. What's up, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be in my space doing this.
Yes.
And, I'm excited about Live at the Loft in general. Yeah. But I guess more so Pride at the Loft.
Man.
Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of the experience. So for those of you who are coming through, I will be here hosting the event that night. And I'm so grateful. So thank you for that. Why Pride at the Loft now?
Well, I felt like the time was right in the Live at the Loft series because I had been doing it for some time and I kind of got a rhythm. I'm not where I want to be, but I kind of got a rhythm. And it was an idea I've always had because just based on my research, excuse me, a lot of the Black queer population in Wilmington, Delaware specifically, are always saying like, well, we don't have anywhere to go. Where can we go? Where can we go to hang out? And it not be crazy or not be like, and it could just be about music or just to be about fun or just to be about whatever. And so I figured, you know what, why not do something about it? Yeah. And I know in this area that hasn't happened, and people could debate me if they want to, but I'm old enough to remember or to even know. But something like that hasn't really happened around here in probably 30 plus years.
Wow.
When there were multiple places for people to go, and in Delaware now there's only one, and it's, defined by one thing, and if you're not into that one thing, then,
From your perspective, why is it important that we have spaces where folks can go to be themselves?
I think that especially my main thing is music and just the music industry and artists in general. I think that because the music industry is so crazy right now,
yes,
it's insane, and we don't get to hear like real, authentic live music. And then a lot of times, artists are not in a space where they could be vulnerable and powerful at the same time. And people forget that artists are out there on stage night after night or gigging night after night, whatever they're doing, and they're walking out of that thing sometimes broke, not even breaking even, and they're tired, they're mentally drained. But there's not a moment where they can get everything that they poured out to people. Yeah. And so Live at the Loft is like, I wanted to make it a space where the artist is heard and the audience is engaged, but also the artist gets fed too.
Yes.
It's an interesting thing. Every time an artist comes here, they say, wow, this was great. Yeah. I feel a whole lot better, or I didn't know it was going to be like this. And, it's just a great night of engagement. It's a two-way street. It's not just give me, but it's really a give and take the whole night.
Yeah. So we're going to have Janae Keys is going to be here performing.
Janae Keys.
Marcus G. Big Grizz.
And Big Grizz. And I didn't know that Big Grizz and Marcus G did a song together.
You see how spirit comes together to just work itself out.
Yeah. And my thing with just these past few Live at the Lofts, specifically this one, you have a vision, but it's not necessarily the vision that's supposed to happen. Yeah. But like the universe said, no, you need what's needed in there. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And so that's how after a while, I just let those pieces fall into play. I let them fall into play. I was like, well, who can I get to host this? I don't know what to do. And a little birdie spoke to my ear and said, ask Johnny.
Hey.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about Live at the Loft in general. When did the idea come to you to do this?
Well, I don't know if I should say this, but
what?
I was doing like a run of shows. First of all, I'm gonna back it up because I didn't really just get it from this situation, but I grew up in a church where when artists would come to town, you would host the artist, and the artist would sometimes do a house concert.
Yes.
So I grew up on the house concert uh, philosophy, and I've always done stuff like that, but informal. Like I've had friends over, I cook, and we just play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a night. So, but me and my drummer at the time, we were doing this run of acoustic shows, and we were doing these so far events. And up until that point, and again, it was the universe. I refuse to play where anyone is talking over me anymore. I don't work too hard, and
Don't come up and live at the Loft talking over the
That's
artist.
a rule, though. That's a rule. When the artist is playing, you don't move around, you don't talk, you listen. So I refuse now at this point in my life to play a room where I got to battle with conversations. And so we were doing this run of shows, and I was like, Wayne, they're listening to us. Like they listening, and they're like engaged, and they're laughing. They're laughing at my corny jokes and all that kind of stuff. And we would leave, and like no kidding. I mean, we would leave as we're packing up to leave. Like our IGs, we get like 80 to 90 followers in that night.
Yeah.
And then the next night, same thing. And I was like, okay. I was like, let me investigate this. I was like, okay, so these are like elevated house concerts.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I love an intimate space. You know what I mean? Because you get to know the artist in a more intimate setting without, all the Pro Tools and the stems and everything. It's just them and maybe another musician or whatever, And I was like, you know what? I want to do that because I like that, and maybe I could get a little coin off of it.
Yes.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
You
Well, that's important because you know what? When we have to keep spaces like this alive.
Yeah, it's needed right now.
Absolutely.
And my prediction is like, I don't claim to be no guru, no wisdom, but I predicted that, ticket prices go higher, and they will. You know what I mean? Venues are closing. Yep. Artists and independent artists need to start thinking about alternative venues.
Yes.
And the smaller venue, the more intimate venue is going to be the way that you win your audience. It's like evangelism.
Yes.
I go from town to town, proselytizing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's how it's going to be now. As an indie artist, it's going to be a little rougher because it's all on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the way you're going to build your fan base and win your audience, is at smaller venues like this or things like this. It's the way.
So, if you could speak to folks out there in the world, in Wilmington, Delaware, about why they need to be in this room for Pride at the Loft on June 7th, what would you tell them?
I would say that because it needs to happen in light of whatever things I've been hearing from that's been happening around in the area, it needs to happen. You need to support these spaces, not only independent artist spaces, but other queer spaces. Like, and I'm gonna make that call to all my church folk and my believers. Because my question is, what Bible are you reading? Are you reading the same Bible that I'm reading? Because like Jesus always went to the nons.
Yes.
His disciples were made up of nons.
Yes.
He talked to women in public when women weren't supposed to be addressed in public. So like, I'm putting a call to just this area in general. Number one, Wilmington, free yourself. That's the problem. This is a repressed, oppressed area. You can feel the cloud.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Free yourself and open up your mind, open up your opinion, come out and celebrate. It's not going to be what you think about. It's not going to be what you think when you get here. So don't be coming in here and thinking like Joker's going to be voguing the house down and stuff. That's all stereotypical. It's music.
Yeah.
It's music. It's music. Come enjoy this music.
Absolutely. So come out, Pride at the Loft. We're going to have Janae Keys, Marcus G.
Janae Keys. She can sing, man.
My God. So
she can sing opera.
Funny Janae Keys story is I went to a Juneteenth event with my mom 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Janae Keys was singing. And of course, I have to meet the performers. Like, who's singing?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, yeah.
"Nah, girl, you killed it." She met my mom. We had the
She's
best
sweet.
conversation.
She's the sweetest.
And so we remembered each other. So this is
Oh,
like really
wow.
dope that
See?
we get to be in this space. Marcus G, I met randomly as I was shooting. My brother was spinning at Queerapalooza last year. Ended up meeting Marcus G because I was shooting pictures. Big Riz is the only one I haven't met. And I haven't met Eddie. Eddie is going to be here.
Eddie's the
during
bartender.
drinks.
He kind of looks like
You know what? Eddie does look. Zoe is here, y'all.
Zoe
Shout
is
out to
here.
Zoe. I could not do this without Zoe.
it's like I was like, he looks like Eddie.
Yeah, that is true.
My only question is like, what is Eddie gonna wear? But Eddie he did exactly my normal bartender. Her name is Danita. We call her Danita Joe.
Yeah.
After Janet.
Danita Joe. I love
But I was like, Danita, like I got a vision. You don't have to you don't have to work at this one. But my vision was to have an all queer team from the door person to the bartender, because I just want people to feel, comfortable. And so I was like, Eddie, who can I get? At first I talked to your brother, Eddie.
Yes.
And I was like, no. He was like, I don't know if I can make it. But I was like, no, Eddie. The next day, Eddie sent me the drink menu, and I was like,
Boom.
he did exactly what needed to be done. So it's going to be
Yes.
colorful, and if you need to get there, he's going to get you there quick.
Yo, please be here. Live at the Loft, June 7th, Wilmington, Delaware. Check Darnell's page, check my page. All the information will be there. But more importantly, y'all, support these kinds of events. We need them. Like, the thing I love about the Loft, before we get out of here to Darnell, is...
We got to talk about the radio show now, all right?
Oh, we cannot go anywhere.
Amen, nobody.
All right.
All right.
We're going to definitely talk about the radio show. And this space has such energy in it. And that's also the thing too. The Loft is part of the family that is happening here.
Well, I remember when I first moved in here, I was in the middle of like being on the road, so I didn't spend a lot of time in here. But after I got settled, all I did was just have friends over, and I would cook, and we would jam, or we would just hang out. And even now, like I have a buddy of mine that's in from LA, who's in the middle of like working on his album. He just came to this side of the world to, hang out. And I've always wanted to make it an inviting space. Now it's a work in progress, because now I know what I want this to be, because I teach here, I record here, we do live at the Loft here, all those things. And so it's a work in progress. Like I'm trying to get funding to make it exactly how I want it. Money cometh now. All right.
Absolutely. And the fact that you put that out in this format is important. Before we get out of here, we must talk about your radio show.
Yes, Indie Planet. It's Indie Planet. It airs every Monday night on WJVSradio.com. You can log on, and we have our own app, WJVS Radio. WJVS Radio is a Black-owned station.
Period.
That's the first thing I want to say. It's a Black-owned radio station. And they had approached me, like, do you want to be on radio? And I was like, no, I don't, But secretly, I was like, well, I could play Questlove. I could be that guy, because I've always had ambitions to like do that kind of stuff. But I'm the type of person, like, I have the ambition, but if you bring it to me, I'll be like, no, I'm okay. But like, I really want it. I'm that guy. So he came to me, and I was like, well, let me think about it. And about a couple weeks later, I was like, well, I'll do something. I want to play independent music, independent artists, independent Black artists. Now, I love all genres, and I'm all for, listen, I love everything from death metal to hair metal to country. I love it all. But this particular show, I wanted to focus on the Black indie artists, because whenever you go to the DSPs and you type in indie, it's like all these, alternative type bands. So no one thinks that a Black artist can be an independent artist. But to me, the ultimate independent artist is Eric Roberson,
Yes,
and still independent.
absolutely.
So it's like I want to lift up all these wonderful Black indie artists, and we're in a great age, a great space now where there's so many. You have Kevin Ross, you have people like El Mean, you have people like Cleo Soul. You still have your
Foreign Exchange.
yeah, you know, yes, I play the heck out of Fonte. Like I'm a Fonte fan, like for real. Little Brother,
Yes.
I'm sorry this is their farewell tour, but so I wanted to lift up those, and now you have people like Ann Nesby, Jagged Edge, Brownstone. They're also now independent artists, you know, and so I just want to lift all of them up and to show that it's not just rock and alternative rock, but it's some good soul. And the thing I like about Black indie artists is that it's not monolithic.
Yes.
It runs the gamut. So I'll play the Shandellas, who I love.
Oh my God! Shout out to you.
Yeah, I'll play all of that and some in between.
Yeah.
So every Monday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., WJVSradio.com. You heard it.
Yo, thank you for continuing to do all the work that you do. For what you do here in the community in Wilmington, it is necessary and appreciated. I know, I mean, you're a legend, so
Not really.
You are,
Okay.
But you are.
Listen, he been doing some good heroin right now.
So I knew Darnell's music before I knew you. So listen, you out here doing your thing. So definitely check out the radio show. Definitely be here for Pride at the Loft.
Gotta be here for
7th.
that. You gotta be
And
here.
thank you, man, for inviting me to be part of this journey.
It's my pleasure.
appreciate you.
And I hope this will not be the last.
No,
the
that is
last
not
thing that we do together.
Listen, we cooking. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get this pot, that kitchen back there. We're
Gumbo.
Gonna be cooking.
Gumbo.
Yes.
Fish and grits.
Yes.
All that. Except everything except for okra.
No okra. Oh, we gotta have a conversation offline. Oh my God, I love okra. Anyway,
I knew something.
y'all.
I knew something was wrong with him. He like okra.
Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in for this episode of Q Points. Definitely follow Q Points. Definitely follow Darnell Miller and be here on June 7th. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Peace.